every year, it's kind of like, as we get older, these kids that we've known when they were younger, and it's like, oh my gosh, how are they suddenly, 18 or 25? But every year, as seniors graduate, they've been with the company longer.
A 12-year-old company?
Yeah.
I've been here more than 10 years. So
Most of the time.
most of my life I've been a part of it.
I've been enrolled in the company since I think spring of 2019. I think my sister joined in 2018, but the rest of my family didn't join until this second semester. So spring of 2019, so about 6 years ago.
So I started in year 2. I was just doing dance classes and music, our little high notes class. My mom and Miss Jen had met at like a park, and they were like, "Oh, let's sign you up for theater classes." And I was like, "Okay, sounds good." And then the year after that, every single year, I just started getting more involved, taking on new classes.
I probably have the weirdest time out of everyone because I joined when they did the junior production of Hans Christian Andersen. Was that 2019?
2019.
Right
before COVID.
Yeah, it was during Beauty and the Beast. That was the year. And then I left because of COVID, and I came back January 2023, and now I've been with them ever since.
So I've been with the company since, I think, 2019.
Spring. Same, but it was Home Storming's. Oh yeah, yes, by her saying, I believe.
Yeah, that was spring that you did a stage group. And I must admit, I didn't like acting after I did that junior production. So I did a stint on crew for a while, and then my oldest sister's senior year was 2019.
Oh, 2021.
Yeah, Shrek.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know yours. 2021, and so she like begged me to do the main stage with her, and I did, and then I've done the stuff.
So I've pretty much been involved in the media team mostly, which entails filming all the different things that the Illuminate does. Big thing is all like the plays and stuff. The past one, Footloose, I was in a little like boom cupboard doing the switchel for the show, which is very stressful.
My goodness, I have so many. I think in the beginning, it was just having the ability to be free and be me. I remember when I first came in, I was super shy, and I would watch them people perform, and I'd be like, that can never be.
She told me she would never ever remain still.
Oh yeah, I did tell her that. I was like, I would cry when my mom told me I was signed up for main stage. But then they became like one of my favorite things. There were these backstage moments where like, when you're backstage at the Tolman High School, and it wasn't your scene, and there was a song playing, I would just be there, dancing, singing along, talking to my friends. There was just a good vibe in the backstage area.
I say our past production of Footloose is probably my favorite, and there are just so many fun moments rehearsing with my castmates, just in rehearsal, and then on stage, backstage with like my co-stars and the assistant music director, Glaze. Just the community, and I think being with everyone. I can't think in the specific moment.
One of my favorite memories is probably a very specific one, where it was one of my first years, so I was 9 maybe, and I was working on our set building class, tip crew, and we were trying to figure out how to make the contraction at the start of Beauty and the Beast stuff, where the dad, comes in, it's all moving, and we were joking like, oh, why don't we just throw this kid in a barrel and just have him move the axe up and down? And that's probably one of my favorite memories.
Did you throw a guy in the barrel and have him move in?
I believe we moved away from that idea.
If I had to pick one, I feel like my first main stage is always going to be special to me. That was The Wizard of Oz. I played the Wicked Witch of the West, and honestly, that was like my first big experience on like a big stage, and I don't know. That's just always.
What's amazing about that to me, that's your favorite memory, that was during the height of COVID, November 2020.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd probably tell them not to overcommit, but also not to undercommit and do just one thing. I'd probably say figure out, if you can, try to get into all the fields at least a little bit, at least just, hanging around one of the rehearsals if she lets you, or talk to people involved in the different departments and figure out where I guess you'll thrive or where you'll flourish, because if you're coming with no experience in the theater, you don't know whether or not you're going to be good at singing, dancing, or your media or set building, but try a little bit of all of it.
I know that it's like when you join a theater company, you're probably going to end up being a part in something, and there's always a disappointment of like if you don't get the role you want. But what I've learned is that you can outshine everyone as long as you put in the work into your character. I've seen background characters outdo leads. I've seen set people out. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing, because as long as you put the effort and the work into it, it doesn't matter what you have. Yeah, you're gonna be disappointed. Cry all you want. I'm here for the tears. But just work that energy into performing your absolute best. That's where I put it. When I'm sad, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna kill it. And the audience is my best friend. I love them, and I love their applause.
I would say it doesn't matter what your experience is. It doesn't matter if you've literally never done any of this before. There's always going to be a place for you somewhere, and just there's a place for everyone somewhere. And it doesn't matter where you're coming from, who you are. You could have years of experience, you could have no experience.
If you have a small inkling in the back of your head where it's like, oh, maybe I would like that, maybe not, just do it.
Just do it.
I like that.
You're always going to regret not doing something more than doing something and not liking it.
I think the advice I would give someone who's looking to get into it is start out with something you feel like you can be comfortable with, but be open to trying things that might put you out of your comfort zone. It's very exciting to be out of your comfort zone a lot of the times, so really try to put yourself out there.
For me, I actually, when I was younger, I also said that I would never be in the shows because I was fully set on crew and that was going to be my thing. And from there, I changed a million times and finally found my thing in my last couple years. But I would say to somebody who's just starting out, like, try everything. Like, don't be afraid to try everything, because you're going to find things that you don't love that much, but you can always stop. You can always switch next year. So just do everything.
I think my biggest advice would be not to feel like you have to do everything, but to also not be afraid to try new things, because there are a lot of kids who have like a hand in every aspect of Illuminate, and so when you don't have that, sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm not as good as them because I'm not doing as many internships and things. Like, don't be afraid to try new things, but you also don't have to do everything, you know. Find out what you like, and if you want to just stick with that, like, that's okay too.
Just say, I mean, a little cliche, but like, try to be yourself. Try to at least start with like one or two people, work your way out there, and pretty soon people will start approaching you because they see what a good person you are.
It's part of our mission statement that we want to be there to help them discover their talents and then to shine with those. And I get to see that happen every year.